Help me. I can bring you back, I can bring you back!
Hey guys, I'm gonna start with some defensive examples, and you can see that there's a widow up there. So when I ult, look at my positioning. See how I position myself in the corner there? You can get really creative with how to hide yourself with her new ult. Once I see that the widow is distracted, then I start going in for some headshots. Here's another respawning way where I hear the Junkrat tire, so I just get myself up high. He's actually trying to like circle that tire below me, trying to get me, but he can't reach Mercy up this high. So just keep floating around, and you can see here, I don't die from the tire. It keeps yourself safe. Dying during this new ult is really, really not good. Don't get cocky. You're not invulnerable. You can't resurrect everybody.
She sniped me out there. I got sniped watching the point.
Let's go. I have ult.
Using her ultimate to make an offensive push is all about the numbers. So I see right now their Mercy's down. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to take this. When I see that the Junkrat is up high, I know I'm really the only one that can really handle him right now. So that's an okay moment to use your gun, is when there's an enemy that's at a position that the rest of your team can't really get.
Alright, well we did that better than them at least.
Here is another example on an offensive push, but during this ultimate that I do, our Zenyatta also ults, which means that people don't need healing. If Zenyatta's ulting, he's going to heal better than anybody. You should focus on damage boosting or using your gun. When the minute I hear him ult, you'll see my beam turn blue. And then I also see this below, trying to kill him again, but this is actually a very good maneuver by him, where I do get him, and then we actually capture the point here again.
We got it?
Yeah.
You'll see me get attacked by his Symmetra here. When that happens, just change your beam to damage boost, because the only person who needs healing is you. You'll see me flicker it to damage boost. After she dies, I switch back to healing. I don't recommend using her ult really to resurrect two people. If you can, that's a good idea, that's fine. But don't save her ult to think you're going to be getting 2 resurrects like the old days. When I get her ult, I use it.
Let's go.
New Mercy can't save the whole team. You have to realize when saving your ult and coming back with a full team and a push to make a real push is more important than just wasting it here. You can clearly see my res is already on cooldown. I can't, do not ult here. Just, the team's gonna wipe and come back strong, and then use your ult.
That was just unnecessary.
Can you get off that?
If the enemy team is using a bunch of ultimates, there's really nothing you can do, guys. Just admit defeat. Mercy can't bring them back anymore. You can try your best, but don't use your ult. You're better off just grouping up with your team and then using it then.
There's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do with that.
Zarya and McCree, I feel like, are your 2 biggest problems. You can clearly see here Zarya kills the whole team, and I just go in and die also, so I don't stagger my death. But this is why though. Don't use your ult. If the whole team gets wiped by Zarya, don't use your ult. Because now watch. I'm going to use my ult to respawn quicker, which I think is actually a really good way to use it sometimes when you're in an emergency, because now we're in overtime. But if I had used my ult there, it would have been wasted. I wouldn't have been able to help my team like this now. Just regroup with your team. If your team gets wiped, don't waste your ult. Think you're going to bring back 2 people. It's not going to work. Here now you can see that I'm using my ult to get in spots where people won't normally see a Mercy. You know, I can make a whole video on creative ways to hide yourself. And here again you'll see that the McCree's ulting. I can't really say what makes me use my gun in situations like this. It just happens.
Oh my gosh.
Did you see me that grab, Ryan? Are you proud of me?
That was impressive. Did you see me on that kill feed?
I'm proud of you. Tracer's right.
Got that.
Not Mercy.
Zarya running away.
Where's she at?
Get that bitch. Get that bitch.
Toward the car, Zarya.
I didn't see this.
Get that bitch.
Oh.
No bitch.
I'm going back to Lucio.
No bitch.
You got Lucio and Mercy. Look at I got it. And Lucio and Mercy do it.
I got Mercy.
I got it's Tracer. She's I got her.
Get on the plane.
I don't think that much of it.
Heals Mercy. That's her feet.
Zarya,
Zarya.
I got her. Where's Winston? Where's her Mercy?
Kill him.
Tracer on.
He's dead.
Dead. Tracer dead. Mercy.
Mercy.
Oh, I'm dead.
No, Winston's still here. Oh my god, I got him. Where's the heck? I put up 2. Why don't they help me? I can. Oh no, that's too low. There's some McCree back here.
Farah's up behind you, soldier. Symmetra, what's your ult at?
She might got the voice chat.
Mercy one to right.
Okay.
Fuck, right out of spawn. Jesus. Can I get that res, Mercy?
I'm gonna try to. Hold on.
Fuck! God, this goes on one.
Soldiers inside that room to the left.
Got him.
Mercy, thank you for all the res. I'm dying with it. Mercy bonus. Oh, thank you for the ult charge, Mercy. Great res.
So I really recommend, guys, that you use her ult during the last 20 seconds of the fights. Clearly because it'll give you an advantage here to stop them from having overtime. You can see the Junkrat tire goes off and I just fly up high. But because I'm using my ult right at the very end, it really puts so much pressure on the enemy team to try to fight through Mercy's ult. And you can clearly see here that they're losing and they can't do it. Always use your ult at the very end when there's 20 seconds left, because they couldn't hold on to the point there, and we stopped the payload. So when you see me ultimate here, watch, it's all about positioning. You need to always have a plan B the minute you first use her ult, because the whole enemy team's looking at you. Oh, the Mercy just ulted. Where is she? Where is she in the sky? Watch how I'm by the pillars, this Torbjorn's trying to get me. Again, he's got high ground. I'll use my gun to take him out because I know that, you know, his damage versus mine, I would probably be able to win that fight. But it's all about positioning. Make sure you use pillars. Don't just use her ult blindly and just be flying out in the open, because the enemy team will punish you. Right here is an example of me using her ult and just getting myself out of position. There's no reason why I should be up high like this, clearly out in the open. The soldier starts ulting. Luckily, I know that I can just get out of the way of it. You know, you always need a plan B. Zenyatta ults, so I immediately switch to damage boost because there's no need to heal. Again, here's another example of the minute I ult, you gotta be prepared because the enemy team is gonna try to counter that. I resurrect Mei, immediately get off the point. There's no need to be there. I ult, and I totally change my location, just so maybe I can throw off this soldier that's ulting. Using her Guardian Angel during her ult is really, really stupidly strong, because you can literally soar across half the whole entire point. Again, watch my positioning, never near the point. This ultimate is so good, where you can do everything you wish you could do back in the old days. You don't have to be near the point. But now when you see me kind of go back to being a mere mortal again, look at how much more vulnerable I am compared to the ult. Don't use the ult thinking you're going to bring people back. Use it to keep yourself safe. Because look at how much more I'm struggling to stay alive here. Another tip is during... Oh, you can see here that she died. Look at your cooldown. I know I won't be able to bring her back because I had 12 seconds left on my cooldown. She died. So I know, don't even worry about that. Just when you see somebody die, quickly look at your cooldown. You know you can't bring her back. But sometimes if you can, at the end of Mercy's ult, if you clearly know your team's won, don't heal people because you no longer get ult charge during her ults. So if you see that there's a couple people hurt, you guys clearly won the fight, stop healing and then heal after your ult so you can build charge. You know, say you see a diva with 20 life in her mech, don't heal her at the end of your ult if you don't have to, because then you can get all that ult charge after her ult is finished. Again, look at my positioning, not on the point. I'm going to use the Pharah here to stay alive, because there's a Tracer. They bring out a Tracer to try to get me. Just keep yourself safe. See there, she's coming after me. Sometimes there's nothing you can do, but again, staying off the point, staying up high, and you'll get the point, guys. I hope you kind of found this helpful. There's so much more now to do with her ult and just her new abilities that we're going to be doing many more videos. Thanks guys for checking it out.
Out-healed you, bitch. Out-healed you.